Good early morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We have another fun and exciting, probably boring presentation to serve you up today. We are going to be talking about protocols, and these are things that I want to do, and the whole idea is to push the highest level of care possible to the lowest field provider through additional training, lots of additional hands-on patient care hours, and all around education, high standards. So, without further ado, let me do a little switcheroo. Alright, so for protocols, what exactly do I mean? Well, it'll be advanced interventions for all levels of providers. Advanced pharmacology will go hand in hand, extensive training, and the whole idea is to create the highest trained, most capable, and overall best agency in the country. I am not kidding when I say I want to be the agency that everybody looks to and goes, "Wow, holy crap, do you know what they're doing?" I want that to be us. All right. So what kind of goals do we have? All right, I guess I never changed the slide. All right, so listen to audio, don't necessarily read the slide. Um, Basically, it's just to create the most advanced treatment algorithms and protocols in the whole country, recruit, train, and and have aggressive providers. And that just goes back to having the highest quality care imaginable. And EMTBs and EMTAs will be emergency providers with our agency. That that really strikes home to me because in my career I've worked in many states, as you probably already know if you watched the bio video. And different agencies I got to experience very um, very high standards and very extensive training, very progressive and innovative departments and agencies. And so I want to be a mixture of all of those. I want to have the high standards and push you all to provide the best care imaginable. And when I went to Tennessee at first, it was very unhappy because I was pretty much told in the interview, everything you've done in the past, you're never going to do again. And they were right. They did not have a whole lot of advanced training, especially with AMR. They don't believe in training. Um, and so it's like, okay, after 15 years of experience, mostly on the 911 side, all I'm good enough now is to do is drive and do CPR. No, that's not gonna be possible. So when I say that EMTBs and A's, or even I's if that's still a thing, by the time this whole agency kicks off, um, those three levels are going to be the bulk of the agency, and they're going to run the bulk of the calls, and they're going to have the skills and training and abilities to do that. So I didn't really know what to call this one, so I just called it a medical innovation board. Basically, it's going to consist of members from every medical provider level. So that's EMTB, A, and I, paramedics and critical care medics, flight nurses, the OMD, pretty much anything medical related that we provide to the city has the ability to sit on this panel. It's going to come from all sides of the company, so the 911, convalescent, special operations, fire rescue, and whatever other sides of the company end up being created. And the whole goal is to consistently review our protocols and from either from internal or find them from other agencies and adopt the most current, the most advanced, and the most innovative protocols imaginable. And they will also identify training and education standards to go hand in hand with the protocol update. Whenever a change is going to happen, this board will also create the checklist to ensure competency, um, and they'll figure out how many hours different skills need from different levels of providers. I want to be in the agency. We need to review and test new products, and the and the only things that come to mind when I wrote this was the iPad ultrasounds, Sapphire med pumps, and transport ventilators, the new Philips Life Pack, things like that. And basically, this board is always going to improve the agency so that we cannot be touched by any other agency in the country. I want to be the best, and I want to have the best, and that requires innovation, education, and experience. So you may be asking, what will I be able to do? And the answer is actually fairly lengthy. So I don't know how long this video is going to be, but hopefully you're having a good time. All right, so the golden rules. EMTs will be full-fledged providers. This just goes back to what I was alluding to earlier. When I was interviewing at different agencies, I was told, because I'm an EMT, I can drive, and that's pretty much it. In some agencies, I couldn't even touch a monitor. In other agencies, I got written up for setting up equipment for a medic to do ET tube intubation. And it's like, if I can't even touch stuff, like, why did you even hire me? So that's not going to happen in my agency. So EMTs will operate on their own 80% or more of the time. Paramedics will be used for high acuity and very specific call types. And of course, as an agency overall, we're going to have strict and high standards for job proficiencies, core competencies, education standards, uniform standards, anything you can imagine. We cannot be the best if we have shit employees. I'm going to elaborate a little bit on these two other points. So the primary staffing for the agency on a transport unit will be an EMTB or an EMTA or an I with advanced training. And this is why I say 80%. In other slides, I changed that to 90% because the more I thought about it, the less I want to use paramedics. Medics will be in a chase car model operation, somewhere around 20 of them per day scattered throughout the city. And this is also to ensure enough mutual aid to the surrounding counties as well as to ours and our internal operations. So I really only want paramedics to be used in their high, in their advanced scope because they are considered advanced providers nationally, obviously. And some of the call types will be cardiac, major trauma, respiratory, stroke, and that's pretty much it. Even respiratory, I was considering taking out of it, but I don't know if I want to push RSI and full innovations down on the EMTAs. So that is a conversation to have at a later date. But basically, the EMTA is going to be the a miniature medic in the sense, and they're going to have the tools, the knowledge, and the meds to be able to do that. So if you're a medic and you come work for me, you're gonna make quite a bit of money, and you're not going to run as many calls. Is what it boils down to. All right, so the very bottom level is going to be your emergency vehicle operator slash driver onlys. And basically, they're gonna have extensive driver training, as the name implies. They're gonna have to drive the entire fleet at all times. And this is going to be fire rescue, special operations, and logistics, and everything else in between. Their initial competencies, besides driving on the medical side, is going to be CPR, AED, first aid, and what I call a supportive role training and training method. And basically, sorry guys, throat's drying out. And basically, this is going to be about a 4 week long training where they can have a basic understanding of vitals, train them up to roughly an EMR, EMTB type of um, type of level, and it's just to literally assist an EMTB or BA or I, or even a paramedic. I haven't gone that far, but since they're chase vehicles, that's probably never going to happen. Um, and they will go through CDL training. They will hold CDLBs. at a minimum, because the logistics trucks and some of the specialty vehicles are going to be huge and heavy, and um, they need extensive training. So I don't know how many of these we'll have, but this is the bottom level. So going up one level higher is EMR, Emergency Medical Responder. Again, um, nothing super crazy and out of the ordinary. EMRs and EMTBs are gonna get paired up quite a bit, and EMRs are gonna know CPR, AED, and first aid, all the normal stuff. They're gonna be nationally certified, state and local as an EMR. They're gonna go through the 4 week or so supportive role training curriculum that has yet to be designed, so that they can assist their partners and be an actual second set of hands rather than just somebody who has no idea what's going on, as most of the EMRs are clueless. Again, that's not your fault. I don't mean to bash you. It's just I think your agencies have failed you. So an EMR is going to be able to pretty much operate as an EMTB, such as monitoring some basic interventions, which include IVs, EKGs, drips, and saline lactated ringer infusions. Safety observer, for your psychs, your dementia patients, your altered mental statuses. So that'll be a lot of nursing home runs probably. Oxygen delivery devices, which will be cannulas and non-rebreathers. I don't know why I blanked on that. For an otherwise stable patient, monitor most hospital discharges, monitor doctor's appointments, and this will be dialysis. Because these are the lowest acuity calls we could possibly find, and the EMRs, at least initially, cannot initiate any of what they monitor, but when they're partnered up with a B or an A, they can observe and make sure these different interventions are functioning like they're supposed to. They'll have enough supportive role training and medical background at this point to be able to identify when something is wonky and grab their partner, grab a doctor, grab somebody, grab the radio, call for help if anything out of the ordinary should happen. Moving one higher is going to be an EMTB, and this is going to be the lowest level of 911 provider, which is actually on the wrong slide. That should have been moved over to EMRs, so my bad. Um, Basically, they have to complete a lot of additional training hours and hold a lot of additional certifications, as you heard in other videos and earlier in this one. EMTBs are going to be able to perform EKGs, CPAP, blind insertion airway devices, IV sticks, sugars, which is still what we do. They're going to have all the IO site abilities along with additional training. And this is not an extensive list. This is just a general idea of what I'm talking about. So when it comes to medications, basically it'll be the national standard, which is crap anyway. But it'll be saline and ringers, infusions, D5 and D10 drips for your diabetics. Nitrous, if I'm on the little on the fence about that. I've never seen it used on the east, in the East Coast 911 side, so I don't know how well nitrous is going to be adopted, but you never know. And I want to do some low dose of ketamine, morphine, fentanyl, and Ativan. Basically, this will be for your basic fractures, your hip fractures, granny from a nursing home who fell, things of this nature. Your broken ankles, um, your mildly anxious psych patients, things like that. And this is mostly for comfort during transport. Um, I don't know, my voice is screwed up today. Allergies are great, folks. Summers are great. Gotta love summer. All right, and then other meds, which really won't be a surprise to most of y'all who have been in the 911 system. It'll be high dose Tylenol or other over the counters, glucagon for your diabetics, Zofran for anyone, uh, for your nausea vomiting folks, D50, which may or may not be in most protocols already. Narcan, because everybody loves drugs nowadays. And of course, low doses of what I've already mentioned. So, again, not an extensive list, but this is just to give you a general idea of taking care of somebody at an EMTB level. So, when it comes to one higher, which would be an EMTA, remember A's and B's are going to be paired up on transport units. So, this will be what I call like a mid-range provider, also sort of a mini medic. And basically, again, you're going to have to go through the checkoff process, the training hours, and the certifications because I fully believe in competency and proficiency. So they can do everything a basic can do, but they can do ET tube intubation, deep suctioning, foreign body removal, NG tube decompression during codes, pacing, chest darting, and a whole host of other things. Again, not an extensive list, but I was trying to keep it on one slide, so is what it is. When it comes to medications, it'll be the national standard in the EMTB realm plus a little bit higher dose, so I didn't change the wording on that properly. But, a moderate dose of ketamine, morphine, fentanyl, Ativan, Versed, Halidol, other psych meds, and this, again, not an extensive list, but just an idea to give you some idea of what's going on. This will also include all of your respiratory meds, um, especially on the basic side, but definitely on the EMTA side. So you can do, your racemic epi, your duo nebs. If it's a fluid overload, you can do Lasix, things like that. Narcan drips, Lasix, sodium bicarb, various other overdose antidotes, etc., etc. So when you're a medic or a critical care medic, you'll have your national scope, obviously. But some of the more advanced interventions I want to get to is doing chest tubes in the field, blood infusions, vents, and much more. This goes back to the Medical Innovation Board, which was the idea that they will advance their own protocols and scopes. And basically, paramedics paramedics will be miniature critical cares, and critical cares will almost be everything else. Miniature doctors at that point. Again, this is all about having the highest level of care in the field at all times by people who are competent, experienced, and educated. And honestly, that's it for this one. Give me one sec, and we'll switch things around. All right, so I got the PowerPoint switched around, and this is the stuff that, I've told you time and time again, so we're going to fly through it pretty quick. But if you would like to support me, do the YouTube algorithm stuff, like, share, comment, subscribe, send me an email if you like what I've done. But if you would like to support us, here's Cash App. Unfortunately, in order starting companies, buying apparatus and equipment is expensive. So if you would like to be a donor, go ahead and send us some cash with your screen name. We'll put you on our website so that everybody can see you're supporting us. When you go to our website, you can donate this way. Go to the donate tab, follow the prompts at the bottom of the screen. If you would like to send me a video or request a video, you can go to the website, go to the video request. So when you fill out the form below, it'll ask for a $5 donation to keep spammers away. It'll show me you're serious, and I'll get you that as soon as I can. Whenever we do live streams, you can hit the super chat button, fill out the form below. $20 or more donations will be read on screen, answered, and discussed. Everything else will probably just get a thank you. We have a Give, Send, Go campaign. Go to their website, search our name, look for the logo, and support us if you want to. This is coming soon, but this will be different membership plans on a recurring monthly basis, and each of these gold, silver, and platinum plans will have inherent discounts for our members. Social media, which we're doing now. This is our Rumble page. Search the name, look for the logo, support us if you want to. Again, on YouTube, Search the name, look for the logo, watch our videos, and support us if you want to. This is our Facebook group. If you when you we post, I've been failing lately, but whenever we post a video or an update, if you follow us, you'll see it. So search the name, look for the logo, and this applies to Facebook and Instagram. Send us an email, send us a video request if you want, and that's pretty much it. So again, this was supposed to be a quick video. Sorry, it's already 20 minutes or so. Again, not comprehensive, but this should just give you a general idea of the advanced level of training I want to provide. And this is the new abilities I want to bring to the county so that all the other agencies are just put to shame. No one, I don't want anyone to come close to what we can do and the proficiency that we have. So it is what it is. If you want to be a part of the best, come join me, come support me, and that'll be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all had a good time, and I'll see you on the next one.